Good morning to you, good morning to you. We all in our places with sun shining faces. Good morning to you, good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Good morning. I am so happy that I am here. Sorry, my microphone is disconnected for some reason. I think you can, I hope that you can hear me and see me and everything. Let me know if anything is wrong. Hi. How are you, everyone? How is everyone today? It's another beautiful Monday. As you can see, it is quite hot still in Portugal. The evenings and the mornings are quite cold, but in the apartment it is quite warm. That's why I hope you don't mind that I have uncovered shoulders. Some people say it's very unprofessional. I don't care that much because I'm hot and I'm not going to sweat here, so I hope that you don't mind. And I had a beautiful weekend. How was yours? How was your weekend? What did you do? Did you go mushroom picking? I always need to know because this is something that I really like to do. And I had a beautiful weekend. My boyfriend's mom was here last week. And we went to Alentejo, which is a region in the south of Portugal. And we stayed in a country house in a very beautiful place and with a swimming pool, and it was so nice. We did some trips, very nice. I had to work a little bit on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, but not too much. I organized myself a little bit, it didn't feel so hard actually, and it was so nice to be somewhere else and relax a little bit. And we ate a lot. We ate a lot of food, a lot of fish, a lot of seafood, and I need to go back on my diet this week because I feel very heavy and not very nice. So that's what happened in the last couple of days. Good morning, Agnieszka, and good morning, Joanna and Violeta. Good morning. Hello. I am so glad that you are here. I love our breakfasts and I always look forward to them. I am always so happy to be here. Good morning, everyone. Say good morning in the comments. Say hello in the comments and let me know about your weekend too. I want to know what you did on the weekend, even if it was boring, if it was lazy, relaxing, even though it's always good to share. Hello Paula, hello Beata, welcome. Dzień dobry moi drodzy, dzień dobry, witam Was bardzo serdecznie, dzień dobry. Słuchajcie, dzisiaj będziemy sobie robić. Więc w zeszłym tygodniu, powiem szczerze, przez rekrutację na Bootcamp nie miałam za bardzo czasu, żeby popracować nad śniadaniem i napisałam do mojej asystentki, do Agnieszki, która prowadzi również, którą pewnie znacie z grupy Angielska, Konwersacja. Napisałam, że nie mam pomysłu, nie wiem co robić, nie wiem. I ona mi podsunęła, w zasadzie przygotowała też trochę materiałów i podsunęła pomysł na to, aby porozmawiać dzisiaj o Gabby Petito. I to jest, zaraz sobie zresztą powiemy, kto to był i powiemy sobie o całej historii. Może znacie z wiadomości, może nie. Jak nie znacie, to poznacie. Więc dzisiaj będzie sporo słówek. Będą fajne słówka, bardzo przydatne słówka, które na pewno Wam się przydadzą, jeżeli oglądacie i słuchacie po angielsku, szczególnie wiadomości, jeżeli oglądacie filmy, jeżeli lubicie kryminały, to na pewno Wam się to przyda. No i zrobimy sobie trzeci czas warunkowy. On się nie do końca wiąże z tą historią. W zasadzie pomyślałam sobie wczoraj, że co innego by było lepsze zrobić, no ale zrobimy sobie trzeci czas warunkowy, tylko przypomnienie, parę ćwiczeń i oczywiście będzie quiz na końcu. Więc mam nadzieję, że jesteście gotowi na to, aby sobie porozmawiać. Czyli dzisiejszy temat będzie o true crime i Gabby Petito. Powiemy sobie, co to jest true crime i powiemy sobie o historii Gabby. Zanim jednak przejdziemy, to taka wiadomość dla wszystkich, którzy byli zainteresowani bootcampem. Bootcamp się wyprzedał, moi drodzy, moje drogie. Wyprzedał się w zasadzie w 5 dni. Jeszcze w sobotę była niedopłata od kogoś, kto zarezerwował miejsce i po prostu szukałam kolejnej osoby na to miejsce. To miejsce zostało wypełnione w zasadzie w przeciągu, nie wiem, 5 minut może. I miejsc już nie ma na dzień dzisiejszy. Jeżeli byliście zainteresowani, na liście zainteresowanych, myśleliście o przystąpieniu do kursu, być może jakieś miejsca się zwolnią, być może ktoś odpadnie, jeszcze po drodze takie rzeczy się nie zdarzały nigdy wcześniej, ale wiecie, nigdy nie wiadomo, może ktoś zachoruje, czy coś się stanie i się miejsce zwolni, więc ja o tym będę informować, moi uczniowie i osoby zainteresowane bootcampem będą otrzymywać o tym wiadomości. Jeżeli się miejsce nie zwolni, trzeba będzie poczekać do marca następnego roku, bo wydaje mi się, że w marcu jeszcze nie mamy oczywiście określonego, bo to jeszcze kupa czasu, ale tak myślę, że w marcu następnego roku będzie kolejna edycja. Dla osób, które się zapisały, które już mają potwierdzone miejsca, zaczynamy 8 listopada, czyli Wasze zajęcia, które zostały potwierdzone w kalendarzach, zaczynają się od 8 listopada, kończymy 3 grudnia. To jest data, do której trzeba wykorzystać wszystkie 16 zajęć 1 na 1. Wszystkie zajęcia są w kalendrzach. Jeżeli ktoś jeszcze jest jedna osoba, na której płatność czekam, więc ta osoba nie ma w kalendarzu zaznaczonego potwierdzonych spotkań, natomiast wszystkie inne są już w kalendarzach. Powinniście dostać takie szybkie potwierdzenie, że już Wasze godziny są. Informacje o zajęciach grupowych będą niedługo podawane. Ja będę w tym tygodniu będę ustalać daty, godziny zajęć grupowych i będę Wam je wysyłać. Oficjalne potwierdzenia zostaną wysłane również w tym tygodniu. Mam nadzieję, że zdążę. Jest Was 20 osób, więc jest Was trochę, ale myślę, że zdążymy do końca tygodnia z oficjalnymi potwierdzeniami. Myślę, że w tym lub w następnym tygodniu będziemy mieli już zajęcia grupowe potwierdzone. Także czekajcie, wyczekujcie, w skrzynkach e-mailowych to wszystko jest. Jeżeli chodzi o zwykłe zajęcia, treningi angielskiej konwersacji, to jeszcze od tego tygodnia do końca października normalnie są zajęcia. Jeżeli będziecie zarezerwować zajęcia trochę później, czyli na przykład chcecie zacząć od następnego tygodnia lub chcecie zacząć się uczyć w listopadzie, to będziemy musieli to skonsultować. Musimy zobaczyć, ile nauczyciele mają, czy w ogóle mają czas poza bootcampem, żeby jeszcze dodatkowo uczyć. Niektórzy z nauczycieli, na przykład jedna nauczycielka ma troszeczkę wolnych godzin popołudniowych, więc być może ona będzie mogła dodatkowo jeszcze prowadzić zajęcia raz w tygodniu lub 2 razy w tygodniu dla osób, które nie przystąpiły do bootcampu. Natomiast trzeba do mnie napisać po prostu i się skonsultować. Obecnie mam bardzo dużo pracy, jeżeli chodzi w ogóle o wszystko, więc troszeczkę jestem wolniejsza w odpisywaniu na Wasze wiadomości, ale mam nadzieję, na pewno odpiszę, tylko proszę o cierpliwość. Przy okazji chciałabym pogratulować Ewie, Małgosi, Eli, Barbarze, Mariuszowi, Beacie, Agnieszce, Annie, drugiej Agnieszce G, Natalii, Bartkowi, Ewie, Lucynie, Agnieszce kolejnej, Tomaszowi, Kasi, Patrykowi, Paulinie i Izabeli. Gratuluję Wam przystąpienia do bootcampu. Jestem z Was bardzo dumna, bo to jest decyzja, nad którą niektórzy się zastanawiali, czy dam radę i tak dalej. Jest to intensywny, bardzo intensywny kurs, który naprawdę daje kopa, ale myślę, że warto. Myślę, że warto. Jest to bardzo dobry kurs. Będziecie się super bawić. Myślę, że nie będzie aż takiego stresu, jeżeli chodzi o zajęcia i myślę, że nawet jak będziecie się stresować troszeczkę, bo niektórzy tutaj przychodzą pierwszy raz i już mówili, że się stresują zajęciami z native'em i tak pewnie będzie. Pierwsze zajęcia będą na pewno stresujące, a później już pójdzie z górki, zobaczycie po miesiącu, jak będzie fajnie i będziecie się czuli zupełnie inaczej. Także na pewno to jest, czekam na Wasze transformacje i mam nadzieję, że będziecie również przystępować do kolejnych kursów, bo tutaj mamy weteranów. Agnieszka na przykład jest weteranką, czy Ela jest weteranką, Małgosia też jest weteranką bootcampów i to już jest któryś tam chyba Natalia też, więc jest już któryś raz jak przystępują do bootcampów i nie poddają się, dają radę dalej, więc coś musi być w tym, że bootcamp jest tak, że przywołuje znowu do siebie. No i tym razem mamy chłopców, co ja mówię, chłopców, nie mówimy tak, nie mówimy mężczyzn, mamy Mariusza, mamy Bartka, kogo tam jeszcze, Tomasza i mamy Patryka. W zeszłą edycję były same kobiety, a teraz mamy panów, więc będzie też interesująco, bo jednak ta dynamika lekcji grupowych pewnie będzie troszeczkę inna, wydaje mi się wtedy, chociaż nie wiem, może nie mam pojęcia, ale tak sobie myślę. Dobra, przywitam się jeszcze szybko. Hello, Ola, Joanna, Anna i Ania. Good morning to you everyone. And Paula says, I have started reading my first book in English. Wow, Paula, that's amazing. That's really great. I am so happy that you did that. It is a big step. It is a big step. It is another step towards better English, and I hope you enjoy it. I love reading in English. I only read in English, which is not that great. I should probably read in, I should probably read in Polish a little bit. Good morning, Marcelina. Agnieszka says, no i trzeba będzie zrobić make-up. Well, hopefully not. I think not. Don't worry about it. I think everyone we have group lessons in the evening. Mamy grupowe zajęcia przeważnie wieczorem i wszyscy już są tacy, wiecie, przemęczeni po całym dniu, nie trzeba się przejmować make-upem. Najwyżej ewentualnie kamerkę wyłączysz, będzie dobrze. Nie, żartuję. Nie przejmujcie się takimi rzeczami, absolutnie. Dobra. Okay, so let's start. Hello Ania, good morning. So, Gabby Petito. Okay, so Gabby's story is something that we call true crime. Okay, true crime. Have you ever heard about it? What is true crime? This is a kind of a story. It can be a book or it can be a film, for example. But what comes to mind when you hear true crime? True crime. What do you think that is? Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard about it. Okay? If you ever heard the term true crime. I want to know. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so I have actually never, when I was studying English, maybe we didn't have this. I don't really remember, but no one showed it to me and no one taught me that. Maybe because I was young and it's not supposed to be for young people. But nowadays, I discovered it maybe this year during the pandemic. I discovered true crime and I'm hooked, which means that I want to watch it. Yeah, I want to know. I want to watch all of them, all of these true crime stories. I really like them. I enjoy watching them. Some people think it's not great. For some people, for me, I love them, and I really like that. Agnieszka says based on facts. Yeah. Marcelina says it's a history based on the true event. Beata says book and films about real crimes. Yeah. So you are partial. Yes, you are right. Yes, exactly. So true crime. These are real crime stories about murder, kidnapping, that and some other, you know, like robbery or other things, other crimes that are told like something fascinating. These are usually secrets. There are usually secrets and mysteries involved. Sometimes they are made into movies or documentaries. So this is not only, you know, of course we can talk about any crime like this. We can talk about any crime and make it true crime, that's fine. But very often the most famous ones are told like something very fascinating. There are secrets, mysteries, you know, everyone is trying to understand it. Sometimes they find the killer, so very often we have the story, we know who killed, right? We know who the killer is, or we know who kidnapped, we know who did it. It's not a mystery, but the character of this person is very mysterious or disgusting or crazy, you know. So the true stories are about people who are really, really into you know, like they black characters and people are fascinated by them too, you know. How can someone kill 25 people, for example, right? So very often we as a public are fascinated by these people in a way, very dark way, but yes. So examples on Netflix, if you like these kind of stories, there is a very, very good documentary. It's called Making a Murderer. And this documentary is amazing, but it's very dark. Okay, so it's not for people who like if you don't like crime, if you don't like, you know, films about murder and all that, don't watch it. But if you like mysteries and you like crime, this is an amazing documentary about a guy who they say that he killed women, but did he? We don't know. I will not tell you, but it's amazing. Another one is about Ted Bundy. So Ted Bundy is a guy who, I think in the 70s and 80s, he killed a lot of women, young women. And he was they could not catch him for a very long time because in his private life, he was a very normal guy. You know, he even helped on a helpline, so people when they wanted to commit suicide, czyli popełnić samobójstwo, when they wanted to commit suicide, they called this helpline, and Ted Bundy was there and he was helping these people. And then at night he was going to colleges and he was killing young women. And there are books and you know, like programs and whatever written about him, because he was a fascinating character. So there is a Netflix documentary. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's good. And there are books as well about him. And then we have Gabby Petito. Gabby Petito's story is in the news currently. Okay, so if you watch, I don't know if they talked about it in Poland. I'm not sure, but on BBC, CNN, especially in America, because Gabby was American, it is all over the news. They talk about it everywhere. So if you go on the English news, then you will see you will probably hear about Gabby. I don't know if you heard about it, but we will come back to that. Beata says book and films about real crimes. Yes, exactly. So true crime is books, stories, films, documentaries about true crime, and this is like a genre, a genre of books or films. We say, what do you like to watch? I like to watch true crime. Okay, so I like to do that. Okay, so have you heard about Gabby Petito? Is this story in Poland, in Polish news? Have you heard about her? Do they talk about this girl? Okay, so she was a very young girl and something happened to her. We are going to talk about it. Something happened to her and everyone is very fascinated by the story. But have you heard about her? I heard about her in September at some point, and I don't watch the news. I don't listen really to the news, but of course I go on the online and I see from time to time this kind of news and what is so fascinating. And in the UK people like this kind of stuff. I see it on the Guardian and BBC, and they talk about her in there. So Adriana says, no, I have never heard about this story. Paula says, I didn't hear. Okay, so I can see that maybe in Polish news you don't have this story. Okay, so this story is very kind of interesting. Okay, because there is a mystery. Well, I don't think now because now I don't think it's such a mystery, but it was a mystery when it started happening. Okay, so now I don't think it's more about something else, but let's get to it in a moment. Beata says, yes, I heard. Agnieszka says, I haven't heard anything about the story. Okay, so today you will hear about the story. It's a very famous case. Case to jest słowo, którego używamy, jeżeli chodzi o przestępstwa, czyli sprawa. Case to jest sprawa. So it's a very famous case in the US at the moment, because Gabby is from the US and the whole thing happened in the US as well. So the first one, we will have a look at Gabby, at what happened to her. Okay, we will talk. First you will listen, and then we will have a look at vocabulary and other things. Okay, so listen first. Okay, so Gabby Petito and her boyfriend Brian Laundrie went on a cross-country trip in the USA in June 2021, so this year in June. Witnesses say that they saw the couple fighting in Utah in August. One of the witnesses says that he saw the man, Brian, physically abusing the girl, Gabby. At the end of August, Gabby's mother receives the last message from her daughter, and then the girl goes missing. Her family reports this to the police and the search starts. Meanwhile, Brian is seen hitchhiking in Wyoming. So he is alone. He is without Gabby. Then he goes back home. His family claims to hand all the information they have to the attorney, and Brian refuses to give anything else out. On September 17th, Brian's family claims they haven't seen him and he's not at home. On September 19th, human remains are discovered in Wyoming. The bodies are identified as Gabby Petito. Brian is now a suspect in the homicide of Gabby Petito, and he allegedly killed her. Okay, so I will read this again. This is a short story text, and then we will explain everything step by step. So, reading it again. Gabby Petito and her boyfriend Brian Laundrie went on a cross-country trip in the USA in June 2021. Witnesses say that they saw the couple fighting in Utah in August. One of the witnesses says that he saw the man, Brian, physically abusing the girl, Gabby. At the end of August, Gabby's mother receives the last message from her daughter, and then the girl goes missing. Her family reports this to the police, and the search starts. Meanwhile, Brian is seen hitchhiking in Wyoming. Then he goes back home. His family claims to hand all the information they have to the attorney, and Brian refuses to give anything else out. On September 17th, Brian's family claims they haven't seen him and he's not at home. On September 19th, human remains are discovered in Wyoming. The body is identified as Gabby Petito. Brian is now a suspect in the homicide of Gabby Petito. He allegedly killed her. Okay, so let's have a look at the vocabulary, or maybe at the text a little bit too. Okay, so let me share the text. Okay, so Gabby Petito and her boyfriend went on a cross-country trip in the USA in June 2021. So they went on a trip. Okay, they wanted to see the USA, the whole thing. Witnesses say that they saw the couple fighting in Utah in August. So some people saw them and they were fighting. One of the witnesses says that he saw the man, Brian, physically abusing the girl, Gabby. So they were fighting and he was hitting her. Okay, he was maybe pulling her hair or maybe hitting her, we don't know. At the end of August, Gabby's mother receives the last message from her daughter, and then the girl goes missing. Her family reports this to the police and the search starts. So she sent the last message and we don't know where she is, and they start looking for her. Okay, they start looking for her. Meanwhile, so at the same time, Brian, so he didn't contact anyone, he didn't say anything, he was hitchhiking. So he was catching a car to take him somewhere, right? So he was hitchhiking in Wyoming. Then he goes back home. His family claims to hand all the information they have to the attorney, so to their lawyer. We'll have a look at this word in a moment. And Brian refuses to give anything else out. So the police was asking him, where is Gabby? Right? Where is she? And he said, I will not tell you anything. Okay? He has his rights. He has the right to remain silent, as you probably know from the American movies. So he says, like, I am not a suspect. You don't have anything on me. I will not tell you anything. I have a lawyer and I gave him all the information and he knows everything, right? Then on September 17th, Brian's family claims they haven't seen him and he's not at home. So the police comes to their house and they say, we want to talk to Brian. And the family says, he's not here, we haven't seen him, right? We don't know where he is. So he basically ran away, right? He ran away and everyone is looking for him as well, and he's not at home. And then 2 days later, human remains, so a dead body, are discovered in Wyoming. The body is identified as Gabby Petito. Brian is now a suspect in the homicide of Gabby Petito, and he allegedly killed her. Okay, so I hope that this makes sense. Let us have a look on at the vocabulary. Okay, so there are quite a lot of vocabulary there. Okay, so a witness. A witness is a person that saw something. Okay, so witnesses say that they saw the couple. Jeżeli macie trudności ze zrozumieniem, ja będę czytać tylko wyrażenia po angielsku, tłumaczenie po angielsku, ale tutaj jest też wyrażenie po polsku. Jeżeli nie możecie zrozumieć, ja tłumaczę z angielskiego na angielski i takiego będę się trzymać, natomiast osoby, które nie rozumieją, zawsze mają tutaj też po polsku jeszcze dopisane. And an example, witnesses say that they saw the couple. Okay, so some witnesses, there are witnesses that they saw the couple in Utah and the couple was fighting. So Gabby and Brian were fighting. To abuse someone means to hurt someone. Okay, we have a lot of different abuse. We have sexual abuse, we have physical abuse, we have mental abuse, and we have domestic abuse as well. That happens at home, and here we know that some witnesses saw the man abusing his girlfriend. So he abused his girlfriend. That means that he abused her physically. That means that he probably hit her. To go missing, to not to be seen by other people. Okay, so if we go missing, the other people cannot find us. They have to look for us. Okay, so the girl went missing. Gabby went missing. They could not find her for a very long time. To report something to someone. To report something to someone means to tell someone about something. Okay, so you can report something at work. Okay, because report is not only a noun, czyli report nie jest tylko rzeczownikiem jako raport, but also a verb, czyli jest czasownikiem. So if you report something to someone, it means that you tell that person about something. So usually we report something to the police. Okay, so they reported, so Gabby went missing and they reported this to the police. To claim is a very important word. Okay, it's a very common word and it is used a lot. Okay, so to claim is to say something thinking it is true. So if I claim that my teachers are the best, then I think this is true, but maybe you not necessarily think that. Okay. So, or I am saying that I am an amazing teacher. I claim that I am an amazing teacher, but maybe you don't think so, right? So, so to claim is to say something thinking it's true, and they claim they haven't seen him. Okay, so Brian came back home. He stayed home. They talked to their lawyer, and then he went missing. He ran away. And he didn't want to say anything, and the police came to their home, and that family claims they haven't seen him. He hasn't been here, right? We don't know where he is, so they claim it. It is true. They say it's true, but we don't know if it's true. To hand the information to someone. To hand the information. So I am handing you the information. To give the information to someone, all right? So it is the same as to hand, it means the same to give. So to give the information to someone. They handed the information to the police. So they claim that they handed the information to their lawyer actually, but it doesn't matter, right? So when he was at home, they said that they handed the information to the attorney. Attorney is a person who can represent people in court. So if people committed a crime, this person, you go to this person, it's not an advocate because that's a drink, okay? It is an attorney of law, usually. So that person can represent you in court. And his attorney says he's innocent, okay? And also they claim that they handed the information to the attorney, okay? And then we have a suspect. A suspect. A suspect is a person who might have done something. Might have done something. So it means that we don't know if he's done it. Maybe he's innocent. Maybe he hasn't done it. But then we have a suspect. We have a suspect because we think but maybe he has done something wrong. He is the main suspect in this case. So they found Gabby, they found her body, and of course Brian is the main suspect, right? Everyone thinks that he killed her, right? Okay, and homicide. Homicide. This is a word you will hear a lot in maybe crime TV shows. Yeah, there's a homicide department in the police, right? We have like police officers that work on the road. They stop the cars. They help people in the streets. But then we have also the homicide department where we have detectives, and they put everything together. So homicide is the same as murder. Okay, it's more. I guess maybe it's a more formal way of saying murder, and he's the suspect in this homicide. Okay, this is a homicide case. Homicide case, czyli sprawa zabójstwa. He's the suspect in this homicide. Next one, we have human remains. Human remains is a dead human body. Human remains is a dead human body. If they say that these are remains, usually the body is not like in a good shape, if you know what I mean. So they found Gabby after 3 weeks and in a very hot, I guess it was quite hot there. So, you know, her body was probably not in a very best condition. Well, not in a very best, condition, I guess. So when they say human remains, it means that they had to do some tests, maybe to identify the body, a DNA test or some other tests, because maybe they could not recognize her. Very sad. Her remains were found yesterday. Okay, so they found human remains in Wyoming, and these were the remains of Gabby. To be identified as, this means to be recognized as someone. Okay, so they identified the body as Gabby. The body was identified as Gabby Petito. And a very nice word. I love this word. Allegedly. Allegedly. Allegedly, it means apparently. So if someone says, well, you know, I don't want to say that it was you, so I will say that allegedly you did this. So allegedly he stole the car. We can say, oh, allegedly he killed Gabby. Allegedly. So it's not proven. It is not proven. No one proved it. He didn't say he did it, right? He didn't say he had done it. So we can only say that he's the main suspect. He ran away. It's very suspicious. So we say that allegedly he killed Gabby. Okay, so let's have a look at the text again, and I hope that you can understand more. So Gabby Petito and her boyfriend Brian Laundrie went on a cross-country trip in the USA in June 2021. Witnesses say that they saw the couple fighting in Utah in August. One of the witnesses says that he saw the man, Brian, physically abusing the girl, Gabby. At the end of August, Gabby's mother receives the last message from her daughter, and then the girl goes missing. Her family reports this to the police, and the search starts. Meanwhile, Brian is seen hitchhiking in Wyoming. Then he goes back home. His family claims to hand all the information they have to the attorney, and Brian refuses to give anything else out. On September 17th, Brian's family claims they haven't seen him and he's not at home. On September 19th, human remains are discovered in Wyoming. The body is identified as Gabby Petito. Brian is now a suspect in the homicide of Gabby Petito. He allegedly killed her. Okay, so let's have a look at the quiz. Let's have a look at the quiz that I prepared for you. So today, as I changed that a little bit. Okay, so let me show you the first question. The first question is, where did Gabby and Brian go? On a trip around the USA, on a trip in Europe, on a trip in Poland? A, B, or C? Put it in the comments. Where did they go? Joanna, Pav. Oh, Pav is here. Welcome. Oh, so many of you. Marcelina, Ania, Paula, Natalia. Very good. Of course. Of course. So, in the story, they say they went on a cross-country trip in the USA. This is cross-country trip. It means that they went around, well, not around, well, maybe around, you know, but they went basically through the USA. They wanted to, right? They wanted to go through the USA. Very well done, everyone. Good job. Who saw them fighting in Utah? Their family, their friends, a person we don't really know. Who saw them fighting in Utah? Their family, their friends, or a person we don't really know. Agnieszka, Pav, yes. One more person. Paula, very good. Well done, Natalia. Good job. Yes, it is C. Okay. Witness. We do not know who the witness is, right? I heard actually that some people were the witnesses. I heard that the witnesses were posting on TikTok about seeing them instead of going to the police. Stupid people. All right, next one. Brian is a murderer, a suspect, an innocent person. Brian is a murderer, a suspect, an innocent person. What do you think? This is also your own opinion, maybe, but no, at the moment, right? We say, yes, Pav, Katarzyna, Natalia, well done. He is a suspect, okay? Even though, maybe you think that he killed her. We cannot say that because he didn't went to court. The court didn't say that he killed her. We don't know. We have no idea what happened. So we can only say that he is a suspect in this case. Okay, Gabby was killed by Brian, wasn't killed by Brian, died, but we don't know who killed her. There should be had killed her. I will correct that. Maybe if I can. Can I? Yeah, who had killed her. That's grammatically correct. Okay, so. Good job, Katarzyna, Marcelina. These are easy for you. These are easy. Okay. Lydia, perfect. Paula, good job. Okay, so she died, but we don't know who had killed her. We can only suspect who killed her, but we do not know. Well done, guys. Good job. So let's now have a look at grammar. Okay. Third conditional today. Last week we had second conditional. Today we have the third conditional. So the third conditional, we used to say that we wish something had happened in the past. For example, if I had studied German, I would have gotten that job 2 years ago. All right? So the third conditional is past perfect, And then the second part of the sentence is would have and the third form of the verb. If you had told me we had butter, I wouldn't have bought it. If we had gone to the party, we wouldn't have gotten drunk. I would have gone to see the film if you had told me you were going. Okay? Czyli jak zawsze troszeczkę po polsku, jeżeli chodzi o gramatykę, bo to jest trochę bardziej skomplikowane. Od razu mówię, trzeci conditional jest czasem warunkowym zaawansowanym dla osób, które już wiedzą, jak budować konstrukcję z past perfect, z czym on się wiąże, i dla osób, które wiedzą, jak używać would have done, takiej konstrukcji. Wtedy, jak wiecie, jak używać tych dwóch rzeczy, możecie je sobie fajnie złożyć w czasie trzecim conditionalu. Jeżeli tego czasu nie mieliście, to proszę się nie przejmować, bo w zeszłym tygodniu miałam też taką sytuację, że mówiliśmy sobie o drugim conditionalu i ktoś się na lekcjach stresował, bo ja mówiłam o tym, a on tego nie może zastosować, i to była osoba początkująca, więc jeżeli jesteście, to nie śpieszcie się, tak? Ja to o tym mówię, bo po prostu tak mi moja asystentka tak mi po prostu podpowiedziała, zrobiłam tak, bo miałam, wiecie, po prostu taki pomysł był, tak? Ale jeżeli tego nie znacie, proszę się nie stresować, bo jak się uczycie regularnie, krok po kroku, to kiedyś przyjdzie na to też czas. Ale warto sobie tutaj już zauważyć, z czym to się wiąże, z czym to się je, jak tego używać. I trzeci conditional używamy do gdybania o przyszłości, czyli na przykład tutaj w pierwszym, jeżeli uczyłabym się niemieckiego w przeszłości, na przykład w szkole, miałam 5 lat niemieckiego, tak? I gdybym się go uczyła wtedy, jak byłam w szkole, to 2 lata temu dostałabym pracę, jakąś dobrą pracę, gdzie niemiecki był wymagany. Kolejne zdanie. Lidia wysłała mnie po masło. Nie, wysłała mnie do sklepu. Mówi, idź zrób zakupy. Przychodzę, zrobiłam zakupy, kupiłam masło. A się okazało, że mamy masło w lodówce. Więc ja mówię do Lidii, gdybyś mi powiedziała, że miałyśmy masło, że mamy masło, to bym tego nie kupiła. If we had butter, sorry, tam powinno być jeszcze jedno had. To bym nie kupiła tego masła. Kolejne zdanie. W sobotę była impreza. Zostaliśmy na nią zaproszeni, ale nie poszliśmy. I ja mówię, gdybyśmy poszli na tą imprezę w sobotę, bo dzisiaj jest poniedziałek, więc mówimy o przyszłości, to byśmy się pewnie upili. Tak? We would have gotten drunk. If I would have gone to see the film if you had told me you were going. Czyli ktoś na przykład mówi mi, poszedłem, widziałem ten film w niedzielę, wczoraj na przykład. Kurczę, gdybyś mi powiedział, że poszedłeś, że szedłeś zobaczyć ten film, to bym poszła z tobą w przyszłości. Tak? Po polsku, jeżeli chodzi o trzeci conditional, jak będziecie się go kiedyś uczyć, to warto sobie wyobrażać sytuację. To muszą być ćwiczenia, gdzie macie podaną sytuację, bo samo takie robienie tych zdań nie do końca, ja tu Wam podaję przykłady, będziemy robić sobie za chwilę quiz szybki i być może będziecie widzieć jaka jest sytuacja, natomiast bardzo często w takich ćwiczeniach musi być podana sytuacja, bo inaczej u nas po polsku my nie mamy takiej skomplikowanej, mamy skomplikowaną gramatykę oczywiście, ale jeżeli chodzi o czasy, to u nas tego nie słychać. Tak, u nas jest wszystko, gdybym była coś tam, gdybym była pielęgniarką, to bym teraz była w szpitalu. Gdybym była pielęgniarką 2 lata temu, to bym była w szpitalu. Nie ma różnicy w gramatyce, tak? A w angielskiej jest. Tutaj oni zaznaczają, kiedy to się dzieje. Więc jak są ćwiczenia, musi zawsze być podany kontekst i sytuacja. I oczywiście pamiętajcie, że znowu, tak jak mówiłam w zeszłym tygodniu, conditional, czasy warunkowe dzielą się jakby na pół, czyli możemy sobie powiedzieć, że ten czas trzeci warunkowy jest podzielony na 2 części. W pierwszej części po if zawsze występuje past perfect, czyli występuje had i trzecia forma czasownika, i w drugiej części, jakby po przecinku można powiedzieć, w drugiej części znajduje się would have i trzecia forma czasownika, więc dosyć skomplikowane gramatycznie pod względem struktury jest ten czas, ale tak jak mówię, nie ma się co stresować, nie ma się co przejmować, jeżeli na razie nie widzicie tego, tak jak mówiłam ostatnio również, pamiętajcie o tym, żeby najpierw te rzeczy przećwiczyć na sucho, żeby przećwiczyć teorię, a dopiero później zająć się, to znaczy oczywiście dobrze by było, jakby ta rozmowa była od razu i to jest super, jeżeli rozmowę z teorią ćwiczycie, ale takie rzeczy bardziej skomplikowane, gdzie naprawdę ciężko jest rozróżnić, na przykład przetłumaczyć sobie i tak dalej, dopiero zaczynacie z tym, to dużo ćwiczeń, ale też oczywiście rozmowy jednocześnie tak samo. Dobrze, to spróbujmy sobie rozwiązać parę zdań. Okay. If Gabby something, if Gabby something at home, she something. Czyli mamy stayed, wasn't killed, B. Have stayed, wouldn't have been killed. C. Had stayed, wouldn't have been killed. Ok, pamiętajcie, w pierwszej części zdania po if mamy past perfect, w drugiej części zdania mamy would have i trzecią formę czasownika. Ok, to Wam podpowiem już teraz. Ok, so Marcelina, Paula, Ola, very good. Well done. C is the right answer. Beata, well done. If Gabby had stayed at home, she wouldn't have been killed. Okay, she wouldn't have been killed. Czyli gdyby ona została w domu na początku sierpnia i nie pojechała w ogóle na tą wycieczkę, to nie zostałaby zabita w przeszłości. Right? Okay. If Gabby had stayed at home, she wouldn't have been killed. Next one, she something survived if she something home. She would survived if she would have stayed home. She would have survived if she had stayed home. And she would survived if she would stay home. Very confusing. Okay, you guys. Agnieszka, the first one, Marcelina, Ola, very good. Paula, very good. You're very good at this. Well done. So, she would have survived if she had stayed home. Okay? Czyli przetrwałaby, tak, to wszystko, gdyby została w domu. Wszystko jest w przyszłości, nie teraz. Tak? Wszystko jest, jeżeli chodzi o przeszłość. Czyli ona by przetrwała w przyszłości, gdyby została w przyszłości w domu. Very good. Okay, last one. The police started the search if he disappeared. The police wouldn't started the search if he hasn't disappeared. The police hadn't started the search if he wouldn't have disappeared. The police wouldn't have started the search if he hadn't disappeared. Okay. What do you think? Agnieszka? Okay. This one is with the negative, so it's a little bit more difficult. Ola? Okay, one more. Marcelina, Paula, very well done. So the police wouldn't have started the search if he hadn't disappeared. Okay? Czyli policja nie zaczęłaby poszukiwań, gdyby on nie zaginął w przeszłości. Tak? Czyli to się zdarzyło w przyszłości, nie teraz. Okay? Good job, everyone. This was difficult. This was hard. This was difficult. You did very well. Very well. Okay, one last question for you guys, and I am curious. What do you think happened to Gabby? What do you think happened to Gabby? What happened to them? What happened to the couple? Let me know in the comments. I am very interested in seeing your comments and your opinions about it. Okay, so it was very interesting at the very beginning, and I think because there was a mystery and people love mysteries, And when Brian came back home, and he didn't want to say anything about Gabby, he didn't want to say where she was, what happened to her, and he did not leave his house, he didn't want to talk to the police. People were very, very interested in it. They wanted to know where she was, right? They wanted to know what happened to the woman, to the girl, and he didn't want to say. So, and then he disappeared, and then people were like, what is going on? What happened to her? And now, you know, they found her body, and I guess maybe it's not that clear what happened. Of course, we do not know until we find Brian and they ask him. But still, people are fascinated by this case, and they want answers. They want answers. They want to know what happened to her. So, what happened to Gabby? What do you think? What do you think? What happened to her? Agnieszka says, I think during arguing he murdered her. Okay, so let me have a look at this sentence. Agnieszka said, I think during the argument. Okay, I would say during the argument. Argument, czyli kłótnia. Okay, I think. And you have to remember that it sounds better if we say, I think he murdered her during the argument. I think he murdered her during the argument. Okay, I will show you on the screen in a moment. Czyli on ją zabił podczas kłótni. Po angielsku rzecz, która się dzieje kiedy lub gdzie, najczęściej stawiamy na końcu zdania. Czyli najpierw co, kto, a później gdzie lub kiedy. So I think he murdered her during the argument. Argument, czyli podczas kłótni. Lepiej troszeczkę brzmi niż during arguing. Trochę też ciężko wymówić to. Paula says, I think that they could argue and he lost control. Okay, then yes. So, I think they could have argued. Tutaj nam wchodzi modalny w czasie przeszłym, co mieliśmy jakiś czas temu, ale oczywiście będziemy sobie czas od czasu powtarzać. So, jeżeli nie wiemy dokładnie, mówimy być może coś się stało, to powiemy he could have murdered her, right? And tak, he lost control. He lost control. He lost control. Okay, so he could have murdered her, czyli prawdopodobnie on ją zabił. He lost control, czyli stracił kontrolę. Tutaj możemy też powiedzieć I think that they could have argued and he lost control. Możemy też tak powiedzieć. Możemy powiedzieć na parę sposobów. Bardzo dobre zdanie, Paula. So, I think that they could have argued and he lost control. We can say also, I think he could have lost control, czyli on po prostu stracił kontrolę. He lost control. Okay. I also think that he probably they argued and I think he pushed her, or he did something that he didn't maybe mean to kill her, of course, but he did something, he lost control and he killed her. Okay. Nieumyślne spowodowanie śmierci, od razu może Wam powiem, to jest manslaughter. Nie wiem, czy dobrze laughter? Czy ja to dobrze piszę? Manslaughter. Tak, chyba. Strasznie trudne słowo do napisania, zaraz Wam pokażę. Nieumyślne spowodowanie śmierci. Manslaughter. Okay? So, so maybe he will be charged, czyli oskarżony, he will be charged of manslaughter. Maybe not murderer, maybe manslaughter. We don't know yet. But I think because I think he ran away, right? He ran away and he's hiding. I think this is not helping him. And I think he's just doing this really in a, like, I think he murdered her. I think he murdered her. I think he killed her. I think he is afraid of jail. He escaped maybe even to Mexico, somewhere where they cannot find him. And he will be charged with murder or with manslaughter maybe. And he's afraid. He's a very young man. And I think it just didn't help him that he ran away. And his attorney should have told him that, you know, man, like, stay, like, it's not helping you. Okej, moi drodzy, słuchajcie, w grupie Angielska Konwersacja w tym tygodniu pojawią się bardzo dobre materiały na temat przestępstw i prawa, czyli law and order, tak? Czyli prawo i porządek w zasadzie, nie przestępstwa, law and order. Bardzo dużo słownictwa, bardzo dużo gramatyki, bardzo dużo fajnych wyrażeń, więc Agnieszka przygotowała dla Was naprawdę dobre materiały i super w ogóle wyrażenia, które tego jest naprawdę sporo, bo ja tutaj tylko zawarłam naprawdę, to były po prostu parę słów, a Agnieszka ma dla Was całe mnóstwo tego, więc jeżeli chcecie sobie poćwiczyć, nauczyć się czegoś nowego, poćwiczyć gramatykę, bo będzie też gramatyka, którą mieliśmy dzisiaj, czyli trzeci conditional, to wbijajcie na grupę. Jeżeli jeszcze nie jesteście zapisani do grupy, to zapraszam. W komentarzu zostawiam link. Zapisujcie się do grupy. Jeżeli jesteście już w grupie i Wam nie wyskakują codziennie posty z tej grupy, to warto wejść na grupę i polubić parę postów, poodpowiadać na te posty, dlatego że Facebook ucina zasięgi, tak? Facebook po prostu uważa, że Wy nie powinniście tego widzieć, Wy powinniście widzieć coś innego, bo Wy jesteście zainteresowani czymś innym. Także wiecie, to tak działa dziwnie i dlatego warto wejść po prostu na grupę i tam polubić coś i wchodzić na grupę regularnie, żeby się pouczyć. Naprawdę tego będzie bardzo dużo. W zeszłym tygodniu zresztą też były fajne posty, w tym tygodniu jeszcze będą super. Także zapraszam Was bardzo serdecznie do grupy. Oczywiście na Instagrama również Was zapraszam, jeżeli macie ochotę, jeżeli jesteście na Facebooku, to widzicie również posty ze stories. W tym tygodniu mam nadzieję, że będę w stanie zrobić jakieś quizy na tym Instagramie, bo w zeszłym tygodniu ze względu na rekrutację na Bootcamp nie miałam czasu i być może w tym tygodniu będzie lepiej. Kto wie, jeszcze nie wiem do końca, ale zobaczymy. W każdym razie na Instagrama też Was zapraszam. Więc kończąc, jeżeli Wam się podobała ta lekcja, dajcie serduszka, kciuki w górę, komentarz, że było fajnie, co Wam się podobało. Podzielcie się ze znajomymi tym live'em, jeżeli uważacie, że się im spodoba, że chcecie kogoś zaprosić, żeby też z Wami przychodził na te live'y, to wiecie, polećcie OK English, również i grupę facebookową też polecajcie. Naprawdę to nam zawsze pomaga do tego, żeby gdzieś tam dotrzeć do większej ilości osób i żeby więcej osób też korzystało z tych materiałów, które tutaj widzicie, więc mam nadzieję, że polecicie. Dziękuję bardzo za wszystkie serduszka i oczywiście też przypominam o treningach angielskiej konwersacji. Jeżeli byście chcieli takie lekcje mieć na różne fajne tematy, chcecie porozmawiać, nauczyć się mówić po angielsku, przełamać swoją barierę, to zapraszam Was. Jak mówiłam wcześniej, przez Bootcamp być może te lekcje będą ograniczone, ale jeżeli macie ochotę, to albo spróbujemy Wam znaleźć, na pewno jeszcze w październiku mogą być zajęcia, w listopadzie to wtedy Wam po prostu znajdę kogoś innego, albo po prostu będziecie mieli krótką przerwę i będziecie mogli zacząć później troszeczkę. W każdym razie nie zwlekajcie, zapisujcie się, bo zima to jest taki czas, kiedy wszyscy chcą się uczyć angielskiego i później trzeba czekać na swoją kolejkę. Także czekam na Was, czekam na Wasze zgłoszenia. Oczywiście już Wam tutaj podaję link do strony i tam możecie przesłać mi wiadomość. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope that you liked the lesson. right, about Gabby. Very sad story. Poor Gabby. She was very young, and I hope that they will solve the murder. We don't know if Brian killed her, but probably. And I hope that whoever did that will get the punishment that they deserve. Thank you so much. I hope that I didn't depress you too much about this story. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for taking the time and energy to participate in the lesson. And I am looking forward to seeing you all on Monday, next Monday at 9 o'clock. Have a wonderful week. Thank you so much. Bye bye.